Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful planet of ours. This is Marc, the Intuitive Prospector, here live for another Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, broadcasting from the Intuitive Prospector page this morning. Just going to give it a few seconds. We were just sharing out some of the live feeds to some of the pages out there. So if you want to help me share out, that would be awesome. Thanks for watching. Looks like we've got a couple people tuning in from Mexico, from Canada, from Florida. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Denise, Paula, Samantha. Good morning, Kathy's watching, Barbara's watching, Lucy's watching. Good morning to all of you. So we're changing up the formats a little bit. And we're trying new things because Facebook obviously is changing new things. I was looking at maybe doing a Zoom for the first time this morning, but they want more money for that. So we're going to stick with Facebook Live because it's free, as they say, for right now. But I think I will be in the future moving to the Zoom platform to do more webinars and upload the Metaphysical Mocha Mondays that way. So just want to thank you this morning for being here. If you have joined me before on Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, it's a requirement to have your cup of coffee, have your cup of tea, have your protein shake. I've actually got both today. I've got my protein shake and I've got my Whistler cup from Canada. So this is Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with Marc on the Intuitive Prospector page today. And this is a 30-minute show dedicated to inspiration, spiritual guidance, metaphysics, obviously, meditation, mindfulness, consciousness, mediumship, psychic sciences, healing. That's what this show is about. We're in our second season, so I've been doing this for 2 years. And I want to let folks know, if you're just tuning in to Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, the video will run this for 30 minutes till 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I'll go into my Metaphysical Mocha Monday overtime or the Q&A after show. So if you want to stay on board, I'll have a direct conversation with you for about a half hour, 45 minutes, where I will answer questions. We can have a spiritual chat. It's also a spiritual community where you can actually meet other people and talk with them. And you'll see that we have a lot in common, more than we think. We have, throughout of all of our differences in chaos in life, we have a lot more in common with other people than we really do realize. So that's the overtime show, or I like to say the Q&A after show that follows immediately after Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. And I'll end the video and then I'll just come back live and do Q&A with all of you. So just want to say good morning. Thanks for being here. Want to get into some topics that I wanted to talk about this morning. And this morning we're talking about spiritual accessibility, 24/7, 365. And it's something that kind of triggered for me over the weekend because with every show that I do, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do until I meditate the morning of. So I get up about 4:30 every morning and I meditate. And I'm not really sure what the topic is until I'm spiritually led to speak about something. And so this morning I was talking about accessibility, or I was told to talk about spiritual accessibility. And what I mean by spiritual accessibility is you always have access to your family, your friends, and your animals in the spirit world. The consciousness is always available, kind of like a spiritual 7-Eleven, if you will. It's always available, it's always open, but it's up to us on how we connect to get to that nice place of receiving information and getting guidance from those that are in the unseen world. So during meditation this morning, I was told to talk about that. So here I am talking about that this morning. And if you want to learn more about the work that I'm doing here in Seattle, Washington, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I really wish I was up in the mountains here this morning. But if you want to learn more about the work that I'm doing, you can visit marclanehart.com. You can find me by just internet search for the Intuitive Prospector. You can also find me through a few spiritual communities. Ariel Spiritual Community is my latest community that I'm a member of. You can also find me at Best American Psychics, Best Psychic Directory, and you can also find me through the Om Times media platform, Om Times Magazine, Om Times Radio, and the Om Times Institute. So those are, if you want to work with me, I like to say spiritual prospecting for your own spiritual gold. And if you guys haven't done so yet already, please do so. In the link in the description field of this video, I have added the playlist for my YouTube, and I'm about to hit 100 subscribers. I'm at 98. I know it doesn't sound like much, but for me, when I started at 0, zero, and I get to, share the 160 plus videos of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, 3 seasons of Inspired Living Radio, some of my soul adventures that I've done, both hiking, diving, snowshoeing. It's just a lot of spiritual awesomeness. It's a playlist library to maybe help you on your path. That's what I'm doing this for. That's what this show is about, is helping you, guiding you, inspiring you, get you thinking differently so you can have the life that you want. That's what this is all about. So if you would please subscribe to my YouTube playlist. The link is down below in the comment section of this video. Just click on that, hit subscribe, and then every time I add a new video, whether it's Mocha Monday, Inspired Living, or a dive that I might be doing in Mexico next week, or a hike, it's just a great way to feel alive and inspired. And as I always like to say, dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. That's what my spiritual practice is all about. So thanks for being here. We're talking about spiritual accessibility 24/7, 365, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. Now, you may not want to have that accessibility, but the point I'm trying to make is usually we're not, as humans, in the right place to receive information. And so we got to get to the right place of kind of like downloading. If you think of it like a computer, we upload and we download. And this supercomputer is, really, I think of it in terms of a computer and how we access information. Now, some of you that might be watching may have more of a religious background. Some of you may not have a religious background. I just am focused on consciousness today, mindfulness for the life that you want to live, the life that you desire. And that leads me to my mantra for this week. So I like to have mantras as far as how positive affirmations work. I do it on the radio show. I do it every Monday morning to get you through the week. That's why I'm doing it on Monday mornings, because sometimes Monday mornings are just not a fun day, right, guys? That's why we have a lot of coffee here in Seattle. But the mantra I wanted to give you is from Mahatma Gandhi, and he has a famous quote about how beliefs shape your destiny. And he says, your beliefs become your thoughts then become your words. So think about that for a second. Supercomputer up here, thoughts generating. So most of you that are watching have used a computer or know what a computer is. If you don't, Google it. But your thoughts are generating, processing, if you will, data. So your thoughts become your words. So you're actually taking what's in your mind and bring it out into your reality. That's why they say words matter. That gives off a vibration, and it also, your words then start to become your actions. So it's all connected. Thoughts become words, words become your actions, and then your actions start to become your habits. So when you start hearing the words and feeling the vibration of those words, you start to develop habits around that, and then your habits start to become your values, things that you do on a daily basis, and then your values become your destiny. So Gandhi talked about this and put it all in a progression, and the mantra that I'll get to, but I wanted to give you this affirmation that your beliefs become your thoughts become your words then become your actions become your habits become your values, and then your values become your destiny. So there's a nice little, they've got a bunch of different flow charts, but if you think about it like in four circles that are connected, your beliefs are up here, whatever your beliefs are, religious, non-religious, heaven, no heaven, spiritualism, people on the other side, it's completely up to you. But you have a belief system in something. If you don't believe anything, that's a belief system. So belief system, and then it's tied to your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. So when you have that belief system and it connects down to your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, that drives then your behavior. And when you have your behavior, you're literally taking action on something that you want to change, something that you want to do, something in your life. And then again, that behavior leads to results of what you're trying to accomplish, and the results then tie back into your belief system. So it's this one big circle that's interconnected when it comes to your thoughts, your actions, your words, your habits, your values, and then your destiny. So beliefs connected to thoughts and feelings and emotions, connected to your behavior and your actions drive results. Results come back to your belief system. So the mantra that I actually wanted to give you, I just wanted to share that with you today because we're talking about spiritual accessibility 24/7, 365. What information are you trying to download from a world that's unseen, a consciousness that, in my opinion, in my work, in my experience, has all the knowledge that we ever need. There is no time. We're the only species that measures our life by time, by this little thing on our wrist here. So for me, they know everything about past, present, future, but there's divine timing and delivery of everything and what people can download. So your mantra for this week is, I see the world with beauty and color. So if you can start to change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at start to change. That's what Dr. Wayne Dyer taught a lot on. So again, when you see the world, I see the world with beauty and color. I see the world with beauty, and I see it with a lot of color. Color, it changes your vibration. It changes your outlook on life, and it can be, very positive for you. One of the things that I talked about that I just posted on my Intuitive Prospector page, and if you guys haven't followed me on my Intuitive Prospector page yet, please do so. I just went over 28,000 likes, followers from people all around the world, so it's a lot of fun. But one of the things I just posted about, and I live this way in my morning meditations, my morning qigong, my morning mindset, is first thing in the morning or as early in the day as you can, count your blessings and have an attitude for gratitude, because when you do that, it is literally the quickest way to start changing your mind, your thoughts, and also changing your life. So if you change your thoughts, that circle that I was just talking about, results based on actions and words, that's where it all starts, is with your thoughts, guys. So mindfulness is huge for wanting to make a difference, but we also have to have patience. So it's like planting seeds in a garden. So the spiritual accessibility that I'm talking about this morning actually came from, I was watching 60 Minutes the other day, and they had, I guess it was from last week, because I pretty much tape everything on demand, and I hate commercials. But one of the things that they were looking at was in, I believe it was in Harvard, in Boston, in Cambridge. There is a gene editing tool that they are working with called CRISPR, CRISPR, CRISPR. And it's really gene editing. And so when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, wow, how do you edit a gene? How do you edit the gene sequence? But if we go back 10 years ago, there was years of study that was developed to actually sequence the DNA code. So if we went 25 years back, people would say, well, we never figure out, how to cure diseases. But when we figured out our DNA code and the sequencing of the code, now they are looking at gene editing called this CRISPR. And the CRISPR actually, it does sound like a more of a refrigerator compartment, put it in the CRISPR, as they say. But it's a gene editing tool that's giving scientists the power to easily go into your DNA, to edit it, and then allowing them to reprogram the genetic code of living things, because there's about 6,000 or more diseases that are caused by faulty genes. And so the hope is that this new procedure of gene editing will change some of the diseases, ALS, cancer, Alzheimer's, some of these monikers that they can see on a gene code sequence. You see all these letters, and then you see these letters that are out of place, and this CRISPR goes in and it surrounds it and it rewrites the code. It's kind of hard to understand, but what it is doing is revolutionizing biomedical research, and it's actually I don't know if they have the actual word, what it actually stands for, but look up CRISPR, and it's clustered, regular, interspaced, short, palindromic repeats. So big word. That's why they call it CRISPR. So just stick with the CRISPR again, CRISPR. It's amazing. And so what that got me thinking about is that accessibility, that download that somebody, based on somebody's previous work, downloaded the DNA, figured out the DNA sequence, and then years later had this idea of, well, why don't we just, like we edit a paper, and you think about paper, how we used to write, and then the writing became the typewriter, and then the typewriter became the computer, and then the computer became the smartphone, and then the smartphone became the cloud, and then, what's to come. So it's like these breadcrumbs, and we pull information down from consciousness at certain periods of time. Certain people pull, whether it's movies, writing, poems, medicine, what else? things that really changed the course of history. And so when I saw this on 60 Minutes, again, it aired on 60 Minutes, it was just fascinating to think that we have a way to possibly in the future, it hasn't gone, they're testing it with blind mice right now and monkeys that are blind. And some of the results we're just watching were just phenomenal of taking this, just this little vial of CRISPR, injecting it into the monkey at the cellular level. And the monkey had an eye disease, and they did a study where they'd hold out food and the monkey couldn't see it. They injected the CRISPR in this gene editing tool to re-edit the gene sequence of the monkey to fix it, and then a few weeks later, a 72% increase in this monkey's vision. He could reach out and grab the food from the cage. So it was pretty remarkable. But they haven't started doing testing on humans yet, but that's the next stage. But think about 10 years from now, what medicine might look like for those of us that are in our late, mid 40s, late 40s. We start thinking about we're getting older. Will they have cures for some of the diseases that, one of those diseases, two diseases that impacted my family is both multiple sclerosis and cancer. And, cancer took my, brain cancer took my brother, throat cancer took my father, multiple sclerosis took my father-in-law. So these are diseases that I'm hoping that they will cure. But what I'm getting at is there's certain points of time where information is pulled down. It's there, but certain people have the ability to pull down this information. And so, it's really the way that I think about it. My mentor taught me when it comes to mediumship, connecting with those on the other side, it's a blending process. It's literally two beings sharing a sentient space together. One of the examples that I like to give people to remind them if they're like, well, I don't see it, then it must not exist. But you see the effects of the wind. Everybody here has seen, if you have vision, you have seen the effects of the wind. If you don't have vision, you've felt the effects of the wind in your lifetime. And so I say that the spiritual world is very much like the wind. We see the effects of the wind, we see the effects of the spiritual world, but we don't necessarily see the spiritual world just like we don't see the wind. But that consciousness is there, whether it's spiritual, those in the spirit world, or just higher knowledge and wisdom, enlightenment, as the masters talked about, getting to that place of enlightenment, because they say that, the education leads you to knowledge, the knowledge leads you to wisdom, wisdom leads you to enlightenment. But through it all is how do you use this vessel, this supercomputer, the tools that you are given to access this information? How do you upgrade your supercomputer, right? Think about, I go back to Windows 98, one of my favorite platforms when I first started in computers. I remember the early Apple days, Windows 98. Now I use Mac. I use, I don't use Internet Explorer, but I use Mac as my personal computer. But I think about all the upgrades that have taken place over time to give us this ability, even for me to be here talking to you today on this platform. Think about technology. The same goes for your mindset. What is your upgrades? What upgrades are you taking to upgrade your mindful platform to consciousness that's bigger than yourself? Because again, the spiritual accessibility, whether it's science, philosophy, mediumship, intuition, awareness, psychic sciences, a sense of knowing something, a sense of feeling something. What are you doing to have accessibility to all of this unseen world? So that's what I'm talking about this morning in your 30-minute inspirational guidance of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. What are you doing to access the things that you want for your life? It doesn't have to be spiritualism per se, but we all have intuition, we all have awareness. What are you doing to have accessibility to that? The power of meditation. Like I said, I meditate in the morning. I do Qigong out on my grass outside, rain or shine. You could do yoga. You could do exercise, good sleep, good hydration, good dieting. All very important aspects of upgrading your platform, your supercomputer. It's really, consciousness is really simple, really, guys. And, this isn't new age stuff. This is something that, many masters from before me figured out. And Rumi talked about the more silent and still you are, the more that you actually hear. And I was talking about this in my Saturday's meditation that I was asked to lead. And we sat in silence. And I think you can have some profound information sent to you. I know when I sit in my hot tub and I'm just silent and just let the water run over me, I have some very cool inspirations for, writing an article, talking about shows, upcoming shows for the radio show. So again, the consciousness, the mindfulness, that world of knowledge is all right there 24/7 365, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. It's what are we as Homo sapiens, what are we as humans doing to access this knowledge? Most people are so busy with their life, with their job, with their kids, their mortgage, their love life, that they just don't take the time to disconnect so they can reconnect. I was the same way, guys. I'm saying this because I went down this path, a job that I just didn't like, and just trying to have the big house and the car and the stuff that you can't take with you, and then a lot of tragedies and transformations. And I'll actually be talking about this in about 2.5 hours at a banking community. I've been asked to come in as a keynote speaker and talk about it, and in front of they said possibly up to 130 people. So we'll see. I'll just show up and represent the spirit world like I do. But it's literally about changing your mindset and starting to live the life that you dream about, the life that you want to have, but it all starts with you. And what are you doing to upgrade your platform, your applications that you're running? Are you too busy? If you're too busy, the meditation masters always talk about if you can't spend 20 minutes meditating, then you should spend an hour, because it means that you're too busy in life. And I know from my own perspective, from my health journey, the tragedies I went through, my near-death experience, it really taught me to slow down, to take the time to disconnect so that I may reconnect. So again, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If you want to have, that spiritual accessibility, that knowledge, it's all right there at your fingertips, guys, right here. What are you doing to make that happen? So again, your mantra for this week is, I see the world with beauty and color. Say that when you wake up, in the middle of the afternoon, before you go to bed. Try to find a meditative practice. I always recommend Insight Timer. If you guys don't know where to start, if you're new to all this, and there might be somebody watching this that says, I don't know what the heck Marc's talking about, get on my playlist on YouTube, subscribe to it. 160 plus videos of different topics, ranging from metaphysics, medicine, mediumship, psychic, you name it. Send me an email. Here on Facebook, you can join my closed page, Soul Adventures, which is a closed community page of about 3,000 spiritual prospectors in search of their own spiritual gold. Visit my website at marclanehart.com. I'm very easily accessible. I'm accessible to help you on your spiritual journey, because that's a lot of what I do too. My job is to inspire and be the inspirer to help people. But I also just want you to remember that your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. And it all starts with the beliefs that are instilled within your mindset. So I want to give you the crystal for the week. I think it's important to have little signs to look for. The numerology number for this week is number 71. Which adds up to the number 8, which is infinity. It's talking about your health. Pay attention to your health this week. Be mindful of your health. What are you doing to take care of yourself? The crystal prospecting crystal for this week is the rose quartz. This is to help maybe open you up. It's a unconditional love and infinite peace stone. It's pink in color, and again, it's called the rose quartz. And I also say that crystal, just regular crystal quartz, I've got one of these that I have. Well, it's half polished and half raw. These are great crystals for opening up your accessibility. If you don't know what spiritualism is, if you don't know what your own intuition, your own awareness, your own internal guidance system is, use crystals to be an amplifier. Kind of like, you have a guitar, you're the guitar, and sometimes we get out of tune, we got to retune our own strings. And if you want to be amplified, you plug into an amplifier and you're amplified, so you can get more and you can hear more and it's louder. Crystals are your spiritual amplifiers. So the rose quartz, it looks just like this, but it's pink. This is just regular crystal quartz. You can use all of those to find purities within yourself and to purify what you're looking for. Your health card is the number 71 or the number 8 in numerology, so pay attention to your health this week. I think that's very, very important. I want to let everybody know that we're going to be doing overtime. So I'll end the video here in just a couple minutes, but I'll come right back here on the Intuitive Prospector page. So we got about 90 some people watching. Make sure to like the Intuitive Prospector page. Make sure to turn on the subscription for this so you are notified every time I go live. I go live every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, till do a half hour, and then right at 8:30 I end the video, so I can upload that to my YouTube playlist, and then I'll come right back and have a overtime show, which is questions and answers I will do my best to get to everybody that I can. It can get pretty busy, but if you want some guidance, if you have a question, it can be psychic, it can be mediumship, intuition, awareness. If you want to just say good morning, say good morning. Part of this journey is to connect with people, have a cup of coffee, have a connection, and just be a part of a spiritual community so we can, get through this journey together, if you will. So last but not least, I want to give you your spirit totem animal for the week. I think that nature, obviously, is our greatest teacher and our greatest healer. And this is something I got to be mindful for, because I'm here to tell you that Forest Fridays are back. This Friday is the first hike of the season, and we're going to Rattlesnake Ridge. So you can probably guess what your spirit totem animal is for this week. That's here in Seattle. We're going to head up to Snoqualmie Pass at 8 a.m. It's Forest Fridays with myself and Inner Alchemy, which is here in West Seattle. We'll be carpooling from Inner Alchemy and also stopping at the Issaquah Park and Ride to pick up people. So if you're in the Seattle area and you want to get out in nature, you've got a hiking guide. The other teacher's going to be doing a meditation out in nature. I'm going to be doing a little Qigong, and we're going to be out in nature. It's going to be a good time. Bring your own lunch, bring your own gear, and get out in Forest Fridays with me. But it obviously led me, because we're going to Rattlesnake Ridge. Rattlesnake Ridge or Rattlesnake Ledge, I can't remember. I have to look that up. But you can guess what your totem animal spirit is for this week. Is the rattlesnake. So if any kind of snakes show up in your path, hopefully not, for those of you that may not like snakes, whether on TV, in a magazine, or in real life in nature, just pay attention to signs and omens that may be warning you to stay away or stay clear, especially anything that you hear for your health. Any kind of detoxification cleanse for 3 to 7 days, kind of like a snake shedding its old skin. That's what it's saying for you, to shed your old skin and to move into something new and detoxification. If you guys are interested, I am an affiliate for Prime My Body now, which is hemp oils, hemp moisturizers, detoxification, hemp protein. It's changed my life, guys. So if you want more information, please let me know on that as well. But record your dreams over the next 5 to 7 days, and again, just pay attention to any signs or omens that may be warning you to stay clear of certain people, certain situations. Be the rattlesnake, kind of coil and protect, and start to lose that skin, if you will. Shed that old skin that doesn't serve your higher good, and get into a new skin that does serve your higher path. So a lot to cover today. Remember, have a great week. Remember that your mantra is, I see the world with beauty and color. The spiritual world is accessible 24/7, 365. I want to thank you today for hanging out with me over a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I'm going to end the video right now, and I'll be back in about a minute for overtime for Metaphysical Mocha Q&A after show. Until then, I'll be back next Monday, hopefully broadcasting live from Mexico. San Jose del Cabo is the plan. If not, then I'll see you the following week. Depends on if I get a Wi-Fi signal or not. So probably won't, but if not, I will be here the following week. But until our next soul adventure together, you guys, keep prospecting, keep exploring, discovering for your own spiritual gold, and most importantly, be kind, be caring, be compassionate. I'll see you next time. Namaste.